She injected me by mistake. Now I can hear every desire she's afraid to admit. The medbay on level 12 always smelled faintly of citrus and static, like someone had tried to clean a thunderstorm. I sat on the edge of a cot while the city ring hummed underfoot. Dock alarms warbled in the distance. Shift change meant a rush of bruised knuckles and strained backs. A doctor with tired eyes and steady hands moved down the aisle. Tray of syringes balanced like a dinner service. "Jace, right?" she asked, glancing at her slate. "That's me," I said. "Booster and out. My foreman will clock me if I'm late." She gave a crooked smile. "It'll sting less than the foreman." Her badge read Dr. Lira Voss. She swabbed my arm. I watched a glinting vial catch the medbay's light. Silver, not the usual blue, then felt a cool bloom under the skin. A half-second later, her whole face changed. The professional calm peeled back. "Oh," she breathed, too soft. No. That wasn't Jace. Listen carefully." Every muscle in my body decided to tense at once. "What did you do?" She didn't answer. Her gaze flicked between the silver vial and my arm. Her hands moved, already prepping something else, already too late. Then something new began, like a radio warming up. Not a voice, not words, an ache shaped like sentences. I should tell someone that I'm in trouble. I want to be brave. I want to undo this. I stared at her. "Did you just think at me?" Her irises narrowed. "Oh stars. You can hear it." "Hear what?" "Desires," she said, voice steadily climbing toward a cliff. The injection was a prototype. It should have gone into a tagged rodent, not a dock worker. It's a Nadirion vector, Neuralink research. It keys to the injector's neuroprint. I injected you, so now you can hear mine. The ache sharpened. I want him to forgive me. I want to keep him safe. I want to resign and light the whole lab on fire. I want coffee. I want to stop wanting. "You're kidding," I said, though the room was already bending around the new truth. I couldn't hear the nurse at the next cot. I couldn't hear the man cursing at a split knuckle. Only Lira's wants, bright, skittering fish in a clear tank. She made me lie down. Chiran test. She apologized in the spaces between them. Her spoken words braid twining with the unspoken. "I'll monitor you," she said. It could fade. It could shift. I wanted to fade for him, but not before I fix what I broke. I want help. I want to stop being afraid. When she finally let me go, I stepped into the corridor with a new sense. A compass needle that spun only when she was near. 10 paces away, the ache dimmed. 20, and I heard nothing. When she followed me into the tube lift, flushing, mumbling about observation windows, the needle snapped north again. "Are you really going to just watch me?" I asked as the lift shot us up through glass, the ring's inner sea curving like a smile beyond the windows. "I'm really going to fix this," she said. "And if I can't, I'll tell my board. I want to tell the board. I want to run. I want to be the kind of person who doesn't flinch." I tried not to flinch at hearing it. We ended up in a quiet cafe that sold coffee too good for dock wages. She insisted on paying. Guilt burned off her like steam, while she explained the vector, how it sharpened the receiver's detection of suppressed desires keyed to the injector. I learned more about Lira simply by sitting there. I want to call my brother back. I want to be done with Nadirion biotech. I want someone to say I did the right thing. I want to laugh. I want to stop wanting to cry. "Nadirion," I repeated aloud, tasting the corporate metal. "You work for them." She watched the crema swirl. "Until I don't. I want to expose them. I want to stop being complicit." I set the cup down. "Expose them for what?" Her eyes flicked to the door, then back. "They're pushing the Desiderium line to market. They'll bury the side effects. They'll use it for compliance monitoring. Imagine a doc queen who can hear every suppressed desire in a labor council. Imagine a broker who hears your price before you name it. And you can't blow the whistle, I said, because you're afraid. The desire hit me like warmth from an opened oven. I want him to understand. I want him to come with me. I want him not to think less of me for wanting him to come. I swallowed. Take me with you. That night, we slipped into Nadirion's clinical wing with a shambling confidence of people who look like they belong. I wore a borrowed lab coat. Lira wore her courage, brittle and bright. The security glass lidded open when she pressed her palm to it. In the server room, fans whispered like distant surf. What do you need? Yes. Log bundles and the signed approvals, she said, fingers already flying. If we get those public, there's no way they can keep the vector dirty. I want this to work. I want out. I want him safe. I want. Alarms split the hush. The door zipped shut with a hungry click. A man in a suit the color of a bruise stepped into view on the other side of the glass, flanked by 2 guards. Dr. Voss, he said through the intercom, smooth as oiled marble. You've been hard to reach. Lira froze. Her desires rained down. I want to talk my way out. I want to scream. I want to throw the drive and run. I want to step in front of Jace if they fire, until my chest felt crowded with all the things she would not say. So I said something instead. I stepped up to the glass. Look, I told the man. I'm a dock worker. I lift crates. Today, your doctor here put a mistake in me, and now I can hear what she's too scared to admit. She wants to stop you before you turn this city into a listening device. And I want you to open the door before the system copies what she just pulled to a dozen independent nodes. His smile faltered. Lira blinked at me. I didn't know if I was bluffing. I just knew what she wanted to do and made space for it. I want to be brave, she thought, the words so clear they thrummed. Then aloud. I've already queued a public leak. Try to stop it. The man's jaw worked. The guards shifted. Somewhere, a policy lawyer woke up from a good dream into a bad morning. Then the door hissed open. They escorted us to an internal tribunal that lasted until the ring's inner sea turned to quicksilver under the artificial dawn. The leak hit the public channels. Commentators pounced. Unions cheered. Investors howled. By noon, Nadirion announced a full halt and an independent ethics review. When they finally let us go, Lira and I walked the promenade above the gardens. People braided through sunbeams and spray from the fountain. I could still hear her. It hadn't faded. I want to apologize one more time. I want to ask if he's angry. I want to keep hearing him laugh when he forgets himself. How mad are you? She asked. I was, I said, honest because the day had demanded it. And then I wasn't. I don't like my head being an antenna. But if this is what it took to stop them, I want to fix you. I want to ask you to have coffee again tomorrow. I want to not hide the wanting. Can we reverse it? Yes. She nodded. There's a counter vector. I kept it off the servers. No one can force it out of me. I want to give him the choice. She brought me to a smaller lab on the shadowed side of the ring. She held up a cobalt vial. I rolled up my sleeve. The needle pricked, and the ache began to recede like tide drawing back from shore, leaving sand ridged with the memory of waves. Silence came. Startling. Clean. I looked at her. Lyra's face was the same. Tired eyes, steady hands. But the room no longer carried her wants like perfume. If I wanted to know them now, I would have to ask. So, she said in a voice that trembled only a little. Coffee tomorrow? Smiled. I'd like that. She exhaled, the sound small and vast. Me too. We stepped into the corridor, ordinary as footsteps. Outside, the city ring's gardens glittered. The day was bright, and every desire worth keeping would have to be spoken aloud. The tribunal ended with Nadirion forced to halt their experiments. The ring city hummed with gossip as news feeds blasted the leak. Jace and Lira walked together along the glass promenade, the artificial sun spilling light over the inner sea. For the first time since the injection, the world was quiet. The ache of her hidden wants had been muted by the countervector. Silence pressed in on him, strange but liberating. "You don't hear me anymore, do you?" she asked softly, her hands tucked into the sleeves of her coat. He shook his head. "No, it's gone. Just your voice now." She exhaled, a trembling sound. "Maybe that's better. Maybe it should have never happened." Jace studied her face. Tired but determined, fragile yet unbroken. "You want to know what I think?" Her lips curved, waiting. "I think, if I had to hear anyone's desires, I'm glad it was yours." Her eyes glistened. For once, no unspoken ache filled the space between them. She had to choose whether to say it. She had to be brave. "I want you to stay," she whispered, words that belonged not to science, but to her heart. Jace smiled, the city's neon glittering in his eyes. "Then you didn't need the injection after all. You just needed to say it." They walked on side by side, the silence no longer heavy but full of possibility. Beyond the ring, alien stars shimmered like promises waiting to be spoken, proof that some desires once voiced could change the course of everything.